Hey everybody, welcome back to Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel. This is going to be a tech edition, and we're going to talk about something I've been kind of teasing for a little while. So those of you who have been watching our channel for a while have noticed I tend to wear these Ray-Bans a lot. I'm a huge fan of the Wayfarers. I have what the kids call a round head, because I'm chubby. And these glasses, a few that look good on me, they're extremely comfortable, and they allow me to have, I don't know, the best range of motion without having to get the light in there, if that makes any sense. Like some of the glasses I've had in the past, even though they look good and I can see forward as soon as I look to the sides, I'm getting hit with light. These have been the perfect sunglasses, and they're going on about their 5th birthday with me. But we just got another pair recently, and a kind of a fancier pair. We invested our money into the Ray-Ban Wayfarer Metas. That's right, the Facebook glasses. So this episode is going to be our pros and cons and our review. Ooh, they just clicked on. All right, let's talk about it. How satisfying was that? But let's jump right into the unboxing. First off, it's a pretty cool box and very minimal packing, which is really gnarly. Let's take a look at what the contents are first. The first thing I notice is this little slot that's supposed to come out easily does everything but. Cool thing is you have the QR code right there, which is pretty evident. That's what you're supposed to scan to get started to download the MetaView app. We already had it. It's downloaded, so that wasn't a concern. But as you can see, I am struggling just to pull this out. And as I'm doing this, I'm noticing there's no slot for a charger, so I'm assuming the only thing that's in there is going to be a cable. It's a little weird they don't provide a charger with this. I get it with cell phones, tablets, things like that. We've all had those for a while. But in here, it's hey, come on. Polishing cloth, pretty standard with Ray-Bans. And here's the other side, again, having the issue, trying to push it out from the other side, not really working. Finally got enough on there, and sure enough, it is just some instructions, no cable. So it actually did not even come with a charging cable. So they assume you kind of already have that, which is interesting. And it is USB-C. So, unfortunately, they're right. I do already have it. But, come on, y'all. At least give us the cable if you're not going to give us the charger. First impressions of the case. It's like other Ray-Ban cases where it's that nice leather or pleather. I wasn't quite sure. See that green light that opened up there? That is the power indicator that it's charging. The glasses itself came wrapped in some paper to protect the high gloss lenses. Traditionally, the ones I've bought in the past all been matting, but these ones are high gloss. When you see the orange on there, that means it's out of the case or starting to charge. So let's take a look at the glasses themselves. Really nice quality Ray-Bans that you come to expect. And first thing I noticed there is oh, there's the lens for the camera. That kind of stands out where normally those silver rivets are. So I'm taking a look at them. My first thing I think of is, ooh, these are going to show fingerprints really easy. But also, these are pretty thick, a lot thicker than my previous pair. But you know what? We're not going to know until we actually try them. And we have since used them, and we do have pros and cons now. I've used them pretty heavily, so let's talk about what I liked and what I didn't like, and what's my rating at the end. My big thing with them, especially compared to my older pair here, is they are that gloss finish, which I didn't think I was going to like. But you know what? It's actually not bad. In fact, throw them on right now. Hey. They just dinged in my ear again. So what I like about them is they are stylish and they have that nice finish. They look like high-end sunglasses because that's exactly what they are. They are high-end fashionable sunglasses with functionality behind them. And like I said, it is about the same width and same thickness on the side. So they kind of meet the just overall aesthetics, maybe just a little bit thicker, but the stems themselves are a lot thicker. So they do weigh a lot more as you're wearing them. Now I do have to say, since I did get the smaller actual pair, they do give me a little bit of a headache over time just because they are squeezing my head a little bit. But I make the same argument about a pair of Oakleys that I have as well. But all in all, they are very aesthetically pleasing. My original worry was I thought they looked a little too small in my head because, as I said earlier, I got a round head. So I was a little afraid they looked kind of, well, not great. I've kind of gotten over that. I think they look almost the exact same as my other pair that I wear all the time. It's just the main difference is these ones are a little bit larger, so they fit a little bit more comfortably on my head. But aesthetically, they are very, very nice, and they are good quality sunglasses. My second pro is the fact that as a YouTuber, well, an aspiring YouTuber, these actually give me a whole new perspective that I can shoot with. So they actually shoot from my point of view, which is amazing. So I can be hands-free and actually do things with my hands while still recording footage. Or if there's something that I see and I need to capture real quick, bang, I just took a picture. It was as simple as that. Or if I want to record video, I tap it twice, or in this case, I hold it down a little bit longer, and now we're recording video. So that's awesome. It's a whole new thing. Right now, I'm recording video of me making this. So it's like behind the scenes of behind the scenes. Press it again, it's done. Simple as that. It adds a whole new camera to my arsenal when I'm out filming and making content. So right then and there, kind of worth the money. Pro number 3 is the audio and microphones. I don't know how well you can see it here, but here on bottom, there is 2 speakers that actually focus the sound right into your ears as you're going. So it's great. You don't have to have buds in your ear, and you can listen to music or take your phone calls or whatever on the go with one simple device. Really nice, really convenient. I don't know if you can also see, but there's also a microphone there and right here on top. And the nice thing about that is you can actually record audio as you're doing the video as well. So the audio in here I think is just as good as recording with the Rode microphone, at least from the few ones I've done so far. So it's nice to have all that in there and to have the functionality with the audio as well. Walking around, let's say Disneyland for example, I can throw it on, take a call, and have my sunglasses on, blend right in, not have buds in there blocking me from everything that's happening around. So it's a great tool as far as audio goes in addition to the video. And the last pro I have for them is the fact that it has an assistant built into the glasses. Like you do with Siri or with Alexa or even Hey Google, my Google just heard me. It actually allows you to do Hey Meta, which is really nice. It has complete functionality the same as the rest of them, so you have an assistant built right into your sunglasses. So you can be walking down the street and ask Meta to call your wife, your mother, call your mother, and other things like that. So it's great to have, again, the hands-free capability you mentioned earlier, but also where I can just give it orders and commands and it reacts appropriately. That's really gnarly. Let's talk about things that aren't gnarly. Let's talk about the cons. And with the cons, let's start off with what we just talked about. It is the Meta feature. So these are ran by Meta, which is, Facebook essentially. And as we all know, when we've searched something or we type something, next thing you know, our Facebook feeds are just littered with the one thing we Googled. One night we decided to look at Boston hats, and now everything it shows you is Boston Red Sox everything. So that's my other concern, is because now that I have them around and I use Meta and everything else, what in their information is it gathering for me? Am I going to see, I'm out shopping and I see a pair of Nikes that I like a lot. Next thing you know, I'm going to see Nikes just littered through my feed just because I happen to look at Nikes or take a picture of Nikes or what have you. So the integration, although great and very, very useful, and this is true for almost all integration, it can be a little scary, especially if you want some anonymity in this world. So that is also a con in addition to being a pro. And with my second con, you're going to notice a trend here. I'm going backwards with my pros because the pros are also cons. In this case, it is that audio feature. So we've talked about it before on the channel in the past. I'm actually completely deaf in my left ear. What's nice about this, because it is giving me that directional audio, because I do hear through like bone anchor systems, or I can hear through a bone anchor, I can actually make out some of the audio because of these, which is cool. But even at full blast, the audio is not that good, especially if there's any kind of noise around me. So I made reference earlier to maybe walking around something like Disneyland listening to this. I truly doubt in that type of environment this will work at all. More importantly, we're going to get to the aesthetics later. That plays a part in that as well. But I think the audio, especially in crowded environments, leads a lot to the imagination. However, the audio, like when I was walking around today through our premium outlets here, just to kind of test them out real quick while I had to go get something, was not bad at all. But I also know that the sound bleeds out a little bit. So if somebody was next to me, like let's say I was listening to Tyler, the Creator, which I was earlier, someone's going to hear it, and if it's at maybe a particular part that was not made for the consumption of everyone around me, they might hear it, and it's going to be kind of awkward. But luckily, I don't really get awkward in those situations. But like I said, the audio great when you're by yourself, but in crowded environments, probably not the best. Con number 3, I'm going to put a few things in it together. And that's going to come back to those pictures and audio and everything else all put together as part of the ease of convenience for someone like me who makes content and is a YouTuber. Downside is, when you take those pictures, those videos, as you're seeing, it's not in landscape mode, it's in portrait mode. And what we do here is all in landscape, 16:9, 4K, 1080p, whatever. So the fact that it's in the portrait mode, either we have to kind of force it out to be larger so you're missing the top and bottom, or more importantly, you're just kind of having the blank stuff off to the sides. It's like watching the old set tops from our youth again. It's like, oh, I didn't get to see those extra birds off to the left. John would be very upset I didn't see those birds. So that is a downside. The other part is, it is picking up all that information when you're talking, we talked about earlier. So when you're talking, you're recording, it's not going to be the highest quality audio. Although I have to say, I'm very impressed with the sound of like voices and everything around me as I'm recording with it. But the reality is, the overall convenience I talked about earlier with music and video and all that does kind of suffer when it comes to the editing portion, or if you're trying to use this to create and make content. And this is a nitpick thing from my point of view. So when I'm making the content, as you saw when I took those pictures and video earlier, there's a light that goes on and goes off. Completely understand why they do it. Makes all the sense in the world. You don't want to be sitting there and, why is that guy looking at those people recording without their permission or consent. That's really weird. Totally get that, understand it. But like when I'm using it, maybe sometimes that light will be distracting, because it was distracting to me when I was trying to do some stuff in the mirror when I was doing some tests. It's throwing me off. So I wish there was an option to turn it off, but I know people abuse that, so I totally get it. So it's not even really a con, just a thought. And I'm gonna put a pro and con into one with this one. We didn't talk about earlier with the original pros. The battery life on the case seems to be pretty incredible. I've charged it once since I got it almost a month ago, and I haven't had to charge the case since then. That part's been absolutely great. But the battery life on the sunglasses themselves is not so great. When I was walking around today, I was at the outlets for less than 25 minutes. I did a couple little videos and a couple pictures and just listened to music. I dropped 22%. That's a lot in that short span of time. But I guess the pro is, even if the battery completely dies, the absolute worst case scenario is they're sunglasses. So that's actually kind of a pro as well. And finally, my very last con, and this is just, it doesn't work in every environment. That's my biggest knock against it. So it's great when you're outside, you're walking, you're taking pictures, because you can justify wearing sunglasses. But like the other night, I went and did a quick trip to Costco, and as soon as I walked in, I was like, I'm gonna wear these inside. I felt the looks on me because I'm wearing sunglasses inside, and it was like dusk, so it was kind of nighttime, but I wanted to record it and kind of see what it was like to use it inside as well. So you can't just use it everywhere, unfortunately. Even walking around the outlets today, I was walking around, no problem at all, but as soon as I walked inside of the store, I just felt awkward. I know earlier I said I don't get awkward. I felt awkward. And that's the biggest con for it. You can't use it in every environment like you can with your AirPods or your headphones or whatever. So that's my last con. But all in all, I really do think they're actually a really great product. They're very aesthetically pleasing. They do weigh a little more than I would like, but it's really, it's nominal. Like, you really don't notice it unless you're looking to notice it. I was specifically looking to notice if it had a weight difference with my regular sunglasses. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I give them a 7. Because like I said, the absolute worst case scenario, to quote that philosopher of our time, Mitch Hedberg, it's like with escalators. When they break down, they become stairs. If these run out of battery, or you're in a situation where you really don't need to utilize the parts on them, they're sunglasses. Worst case scenario. So 7 out of 10. Now the price tag at $300, I do think that's pretty steep. But then I thought about it, my sunglasses that I have, I think their original price tag was $240. So we're talking about a $60 difference to incorporate the audio, video, and all the smart features. So with that being considered, really not that stretch on price for a good quality product. Hey guys, thanks for watching one of our little tech reviews here. Hope it was informative. If not, sorry. If so, yay, give us a like and subscribe. All right guys, thanks for taking the ride with us. Let's take another ride again soon. Bye-bye everybody.